What about violence? I think that's another huge thing we have to look forward to next year.
Do we have another riot situation that divides the country even more? God, please have it in a different city than here.
Well, it'll be in a different city because it needs to be the right. It needs to be the right, and I think more than anything, I think they'll succeed more than once. I think they'll succeed more than once for sure. I mean, your area is so damn psyop, 666 ways Sunday that it's like y'all might as well just become Russians out there. It's insane. But I think
Well,
you gotta hope that your local militias aren't gonna do. You don't have that one dude who's a fad who's gonna, ignite the panhandle when everyone's out at the fucking chili meeting.
yeah.
I think we have a little bit of that to look forward to. I think we got a lot more, let's find the rando schizo on 4chan and give him a gun. I think we have a lot more of that to look forward to. But every time they do that, it was always the same stupid news story. 13 people got shot at, 3:33 at night in the afternoon or whatever at this fucking gay club. Oh, they're going to take our guns. Okay, well, that never really amounted to fucking any riots.
It never has.
But when they shot the motherfucker in Portland, who was part of some, I don't know, Christian group, I don't know, then that gets people talking. You get those Christian kids being targeted by the tranny in Nashville. Manifesto never came out. And you have, the media calling white nationalists and Christians white nationalists, and this new thing, Christian nationalists, where it's like, they're like, I don't know, you have the people who are boomer mentality, who are of those age and very patriotic, who are like, well, we're not Christian nationalists, we're just Christians and nationalists. Newsflash, it doesn't matter what you think you are, they've already labeled you that, so you might as well run with that. But I'm guessing it has to be something they'll bring them closer than ever to either shooting back or a chaotic situation, because they need to bring in the order and they need to ignite the chaos, and they need their they need.
So you think the right's going to do that?
Yep, 100%.
Because the left
They're
did
going
the
to be
last one?
targeted. They're going to be targeted because it was the left that did it all last time. They were the useful idiots, and the Russians have been gearing up everything in the way that they've done the left already. Now, they're far less hands-on, but their propaganda is far bigger than before. Because obviously there were hands-on Russian intelligence in the U.S. with anarchist forces. But in the same way that the right has been utilized by the feds in the past and in other countries, I think we're about to see that. It's never popped off here. So that's why it's kind of hard to be like, well, how is it going to actually come to fruition on the ground? Because if they want civil war, if they want anything like that, they need to ignite the other side and not have it be pointed at the fucking White House. That's the difference.
Well, I think in your case,
get the attention off them attacking the man and get the attention on focusing them each other.
I think in your case that.
And they got like 5 years to do it.
The economy is so big out there, right? I mean, even if it's not doing well, you're still making buttloads of money. Yeah. So there's a lot of people that aren't being affected by it. Just like there is here. There's a lot of people that aren't. No, there's not a lot of people being affected by the fact that the economy is going up and down and Wall Street's doing this and that. They don't look at it that way. They're like, our gas is almost $5 a gallon now, but that's got nothing to do with anything other than, they closed down one refinery. I'm like, that really? God, what would happen if two went down? So something's got to happen that makes it hurt people. And right now, there's nothing out there that's going to hurt people financially to the point where that they get upset about who's in office. Yeah, everybody's pissing and moaning about this guy, and he's a blundering idiot. Now I'm Trump. Everybody hates Trump because of this and that. And
George Floyd had nothing to do with who's in office, though.
No, But
that's what I'm saying is we're going to see shit like that going into this next, because obviously they can weaponize that against the.
But I mean, what would the outcome be of something like that happening again? I mean,
2024, 2020 is a record year.
Yeah.
The only one that can be crazier than that is this one.
2024 in a big city too, no less. With a lot bigger population that might happen that way. That you start have something happen in Atlanta where the population is their population is mostly black. And so
do you think they're going to go after the black community again?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Yeah.
Why? I'm interested in why you think that.
Because they need them to be more together than they are. They were together for that year and a half or so, and now a lot of them have gone back to, I just want to make a living. I want to open up my store and I want to do this and that, and they're not marching up and down the streets, and when anything happens they're not closing intersections. Of course, we got little thugs running around, but that's got nothing to do with that whole movement.
You think they value the black vote that much and they don't have it in the bag?
Yeah, they don't have it in the bag. I guarantee you they don't have it in the bag. There's a lot of people out there that don't believe what happened was the Republicans' fault.
Yeah, I think there are enough still that are in it for the Biden bucks, but I also and I think at this point you might as well take them if you can. But I think I think America as a whole is just about ready to admit that they have black people fatigue in mass.
Oh, I think we're there.
Yeah, we've been there for the past fucking we don't need any more agitprop. We don't need any more agitation propaganda. At this point, agitation propaganda showing all the black crimes makes me hate you, whoever's putting it out.
Yeah,
because we know we've seen it. There've been hundreds of thousands of people who left for better schools and good neighborhoods, and you left to get away from black people.
Pretty much.
And we are fucking just around the corner. We are a few minutes away from just everyone admitting that's why we do it. We don't want to be around them. Mexicans don't want to be around black people. White people don't want to be around black people. Asian people don't want to be around black people. Black people don't want to be around black people. Yes. It's done. You don't have to have the argument anymore. The next time someone brings that up when you're out in public, just call them out on it. Just be like, okay, even you don't care about black people. They've been the political football for the past 100 years.
Pretty much. They're the ones that every campaign has that in it.
Their legacy has been record recorded crime statistics per capita in our nation's history outside of wars.
Yeah.
And being the political football, the next time someone brings up anything pro BLM or black, just tell them to shut up and call them out that you don't really care, and neither do us, and just read the energy of the room. Because I think right after that point of tension for about 10 to 20 seconds, it's really interesting. It makes you wonder what that is. You'll feel the agreement right around the corner. And I think the more times that happen, the quicker we can be done with this tossing the proverbial basketball back and forth, pun intended.
I think the political class, though, is worried that unless they continue this tension between the whites and the blacks, that the whites and the blacks are actually going to get together.
Never. I don't.
There was a time when there wasn't that big disruption between those two classes, and it was all through the early 2000s. There wasn't.
We had a war for that, which this time we have a war and the division at the same. We would have a war and the division at the same time. I think that. You said they're going for the black population. I am convinced that they're going to, because that doesn't lean right enough for them to run with that. I think it has to be not necessarily rural white America, but they're going to run doing some kind of attack on Christians because it has to embolden people to make a mistake to make Trump look bad.
Ugh.
And I think the only people dumb enough to do, sorry, it's true, are evangelical Christians who can be also rounded up. But they take the bait. You know, they're the marks for whatever Christian song is or country song is going on, saying this, and this, and you just have some Fed tranny shoot up the right fucking gathering, and how easy is it? Like, oh well, we'll shoot back, and an armed society is one that stops criminals. These are all true things. You know, in the same way that, you know, Chauvin followed the protocol that he was given. So, all right, so you have that happening. You have people who are pro 2A. You have a shooting happen. Someone shoots back. Media completely takes control once again. Media writes the story.